So we're going to go from hoping for high budget films to Logan's topic of no budget films, basically. So
Kind of necessarily no budget. But
No.
well, you
So,
in
yeah.
comparison, like, you know, it's no $100 million budget film.
So yeah, my topic is kind of what's your favorite independent series, movie, whatever, whether that's like a internet series, a smaller studio, whatever, that is your favorite. The reason why I say this is because
festival movie.
last night for some reason I was like laying in bed, like I'm gonna start watching Red vs. Blue again. And so I started watching season 1 of that show again, and it's so stupid, and I love it.
It's so fantastic.
It's amazing. Like, it's literally just old, like, this is before YouTube. It's 2003, I think, is when it started, right?
Something
It's
like
that old?
I think so. And, like,
Halo 1.
just on Machinima, they would...
2003, 2001.
Was it
I
2001?
think it was 2001.
Either way, it's extremely old now.
Yeah.
And
Halo 1,
it's literally just
2012.
them on Halo, 2 or 3?
Halo 1.
Halo 1?
Yeah. That's where it
And they're
started,
just,
for
like,
sure.
just recording on Halo and doing, like, scenes and stuff, just using the Halo game.
If I remember correctly, like, the story was they were just, like, messing around in Halo 1, like,
Yeah.
as a group, and started doing stupid crap, and then they're like, wow, why don't we record this and make this something?
Yeah, and that's so cool to me. And so, like, yeah, that's kind of...
And then Machinima had Red vs. Blue, and then it became Rooster Teeth later, but
that's
Yep.
kind of like how this podcast came to be, too.
kind of.
Because me and you on the way home from Buffalo Wild Wings one night, that was actually 3 years ago. We were just talking, remember, in the van? And we
I
were
don't
like,
remember.
we had a whole conversation. We were like, we should just have a podcast. We were talking about video games. And we were like, we should just have a podcast where we just sit down and talk about this stuff. And you're like, yeah, I agree. I mean, that was 3 years ago yesterday because it was on Halloween. We went to B-Dubs.
Mhm.
It's the same day that Captain America
Mm,
had the blazing wing.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
I want to say something cool, like I can do this all day, but I really
I
can't.
can't do
Yeah.
I can't.
That was really funny.
That was the day
actually.
we made poor Kelly throw up.
That was really funny.
Notice I said
Throw up.
notice I said
Sure.
we because it was a group effort, obviously.
It was not
Yeah,
a good
sure.
I
one.
warned her against you.
I did too. But yeah, no, I think Red vs. Blue is amazing. I remember, like, I was, like-
old school stuff.
I was like super like into it in middle school. Like it
Oh,
was one of those things where like it's like during recess, me and like a few of my friends would like pretend to play it outside at recess, and
You
it was
were
like,
Griff, weren't you?
no, I was Sarge.
You're so much.
Because I don't know why I really like Sarge, like how he's like obsessed with his shotgun and like just super stupid.
Mhm.
Sounds
They're
like
all
me.
they're all stupid, but like I just yeah. So it was a fun time, and I have a lot of memories from that show.
Heck yeah.
It's good stuff.
Yeah,
my
so
my
we-
favorite one from way back then is actually very similar. It's Arby and the Chief. I don't know if you guys remember
I've
that at
heard
all.
that one.
I don't.
So it started out with a video called Master Chief Sucks at Halo 3.
I remember that, yeah.
And so they took that video, and the voices were Microsoft Sam and Microsoft Mike, and it was the Arbiter and Master Chief action figures living in this guy's apartment named John. And like
Oh, I think I have.
so
seen
like
this.
when he was gone, like they'd come to almost like Toy Story, they'd come to life and they would start doing stuff. And
I have seen that.
dude, I tell you what, I remember watching those back when those came out, like in 2007, 2000, like whatever year it was.
Mhm.
I was in tears laughing. Like they were so funny to me. It's such a stupid thing because you hear those robot voices and everything.
Yeah.
And there's one episode, and just I think I actually showed it to you. It was when Master Chief was pretending to be a pirate. Do you remember that?
I do not remember that.
He's like, the pirate's life is the life's for me. La, 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 in a bottle of wind. Like this is on repeat. He's using like Arbiter's homework as or like as a telescope because like the whole thing was Arbiter couldn't find his assignment for work or for college, and so Master Chief was using it as a telescope,
That's funny.
and so he ended up like failing the class, and he was getting all pissed at him. But just something about that series, it was so funny to me. And there's a few other episodes that come to mind that are not family friendly, so I can't quote them here. Like when he made fun of Call of Duty 4, it was around that time that game came out. You know, Master Chief being Halo was, you know, making fun of Call of Duty, and the Arbiter wanted to play it, but he obviously is saying a lot of mean things about Call of Duty 4 that were just hilarious to me back, because I used to love playing that game. You know, like it was so funny, and that was definitely one I can think of for old school YouTube. I can't really think of any other ones I really got into other than that. I don't know. I never really got into the series on YouTube's. I guess back in the day, I was more into prank videos and like watching some of those guys like with their vlogs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you can't really call vlogging a series.
No.
I guess. I mean, that's
No.
not a scripted series, so that won't count for this. But that was more what I was into, I guess.
Yeah.
Not really the scripted thing.
Yeah.
Actually, you know who I wish was here for this conversation was Zach.
Oh yeah.
Because Zach, that's what he does. He makes stuff like that on YouTube even still. Like he has his own series that he talks about or all the time. Like when he's in Discord on stream or whatever, he records series and writes out scripts. And I've even done voice acting on a few of them.
That's right.
And it's kind of fun. But
Yeah.
that'd be a really good topic for him to be in on too. But do you guys have any?
He's gonna watch this back. And be like, I hate you guys.
Dude,
Not so much like series or anything, but I do like some indie movies here and there. I'm a movie guy, so one that comes off the top of my head that was such a surprise. It came up when I read the description. I'm like, oh, this looks so stupid. Let's watch it. It sounds awesome. It's called Safety Not Guaranteed. It came out in 2012. It is, gosh, what's the guy's name? It's Aubrey Plaza.
Oh.
And what's the guy's name?
Can you really say it's
Derek
an independent?
No, it was. This was before.
Oh, before she was popular.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is totally an indie film.
Because was it Parks and Rec kind of made her blow up?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, and it starts with she's like a reporter, I think, and she's doing a story on this guy who put an ad in the paper saying, "I'm looking for a partner to time travel with me. Bring your own weapons. Safety not guaranteed." So she shows up, like trying to find out who this guy is, what it's about, like playing off like I'll do this with you. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And it ends up being a fantastic movie. Like he's like, yeah, we need to be careful. Like people are after me and stuff. And it ends up like people are actually after him, like the Men in Black, and they end up actually building a time machine and time traveling at the end. Like he has a time machine.
That's funny.
Like it's actually fantastic.
I have never heard of that
I
before.
recommend you guys watch it.
And
For sure.
it's called Safety Not
Safety
Guaranteed? Okay.
That's
It's
funny.
really, really good.
Is it
Interesting.
on what?
I don't know if it's on anything, to be honest.
Like Amazon Prime Video or something, maybe?
Maybe.
I'm gonna look it up. Because now I'm actually curious.
So-
That sounds funny.
Like it was surprisingly really good. It's got a strange tone to it, kind of like if you know Aubrey Plaza from like
Oh,
Parks
it's
and
got
Rec.
it's got the dude from New Girl too.
Yeah, I can rent it on
Yeah,
Amazon
Conley.
Prime for $4. I might actually have to do that.
Try it, dude. It's really fun.
The
It's really good.
it came out in 2012.
Yeah.
And the description here is when an unusual classified ad inspires 3 cynical Seattle magazine employees to look for the story behind it. They discover a mysterious, eccentric named Kenneth, a likable but paranoid supermarket clerk who believes he's solved the riddle of time travel and intends to depart again soon. Together they embark on a hilarious, smart, and unexpectedly heartfelt journey that reveals how far, and it cuts off the description there, I guess, because that
Yeah.
that makes sense to cut off the description
Like,
mid-sentence.
seriously,
But
check it out. It's really good.
yeah, I might actually have
But,
to do that.
That was a really good one. Donnie Darko was totally.
I've heard
It's
that
a
movie's good.
cult classic now, totally an indie film when it came out. So with Jake Gyllenhaal when he was really
Yeah.
young. How to explain Donnie Darko? It's about time travel too.
I feel like
But,
time
like-
travel is just a
It's really
For-
weird.
well for
Strange
independent
movie.
films and stuff. Like that's a very
Sometimes,
popular.
Yeah, like it's
It can be.
popular in just about every movie.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
But
Hot Tub
no, it
Time
has
Never seen that.
I've never seen either, but I've heard they're really bad.
like this kid Donnie Darko, like kind of starts going crazy, and like sees like his future and stuff through this time travel thing. It's weird. It's Frank the Rabbit's a character, this demonic guy or this guy in a rabbit suit that's like a demonic rabbit. It's like one of my favorite characters ever. It speaks in this like super demon voice and stuff, and it's like this imaginary friend that he can see. It's really weird. It's a strange movie, but it's pretty awesome actually. I like it at least. It's really weird, but
So, I guess the only really movie I can think of that I've ever seen, and I'm almost ashamed to admit this, that could be super low budget. I don't know if this is independent. Sharknado,
that's not independent.
So
That was
that's
a
not-
sci-fi movie.
I actually got one.
because that
I have a
That's just like a super low budget, terrible
So-
movie.
That was made for the specific fact to be terrible, though.
Oh, was it?
That's
Yeah.
what Sci-Fi
Yeah.
did. Sci-Fi
Yeah.
movies,
Oh, okay.
The channel Sci-Fi had all the rights to all those movies. They made them for like maybe $1,000 or a couple grand. Like that's how
Yeah.
terrible and low the budget of these movies are. They're made specifically to be bad because there's an audience that loves that.
We should make a really bad movie.
You know what's a really
That's
great
exciting.
indie movie that's like that, right? It's a 30-minute movie on YouTube. It's called Kung Fury.
No,
It's one of the funniest movies ever. It's literally just 30 minutes of like
I know what it is.
stupid 80s, like anything 80s is crammed in this
It's
movie.
the sequel to Kung Pao After the Fist.
I would say Kung Pao. That's like.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
basically that.
Is
There's
it
a
really?
There's a scene
Oh,
where
I love that movie.
you literally gotta watch. It's literally after this podcast, you need to just put it on before you do your. It's 30 minutes long, and
I
it's
might have to.
this 80s, like his name's Kung Fury, and he's like this cop from the 80s who knows kung fu because he got bit by a cobra, and he works alongside a triceracop is what they call him. And he's a-
Triceratops.
and he's a triceratops in a cop uniform. He's like it's like a person, but he's just got a triceratops head. And like Hitler comes back from the past, and he like shoots through the phone. Like he calls the police. He's like, "Is this the police?" And they're like, "Yeah, this is the police." And Hitler's like, "Die!" And he like shoots through the phone, and bullets are coming out of the phone. And like it's just so stupid.
Can you imagine that technology?
And yeah, it's so the whole point of it is he's got to go back in time to kill Hitler, and he like to go back in time. He goes to this guy called Hacker Man who's got a power glove on, and he's just like, "I'm gonna hack you to the past." And he stands on like this old like MacBook, I think it or Mac or whatever, and he's like standing there. He's like, "All right, I'll get you in." And the guy starts typing. He's not even typing, hitting the keys. He's just like pushing like barely pushing random buttons on the keyboard. And then so he starts surfing down like the 80 synthwave thing. It's so funny. One of my favorite things I've ever watched.
That sounds fantastic. You should totally find
And
it and send me the link. to
David
it.
Hasselhoff has a song in it because he's in
Of
it.
course he does.
It's amazing.
Yeah, so Kung Pao, Enter the Fist. That was one I was gonna bring up too for like low budget. Just awesome movies though. That is such a stupid funny movie. Like I love it, man. I don't know why. There's something about it. Like it's one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. And then another stupid internet thing. Do you guys remember the website Albino Black Sheep?
Not really. I've heard of it.
It had a bunch of
Didn't
really
know that,
stupid
so-
videos on it. But there was one, like he said, like a 30-minute internet movie. It's called the Demented Cartoon Movie. And honestly, it's stupid. It's a bunch of stick figures, and it makes no sense. There's no story to it. But if we're going to talk about things that made us laugh that were like independently done or whatever, like I don't know if that just counts as a YouTube thing now or what, but I mean it has the word movie in the title, so I'm bringing that up.
Does that mean something?
Hey, I'm bringing it up. I don't know,
All
like
right.
maybe I'm trying to take part in the conversation.
sure.
Thank you, Logan. I just want to
But-
take part.
Yeah, I don't know. I got one more movie, and then I'll move it into the Weston to whatever you got.
Oh yeah.
This is actually Nolan. Christopher Nolan. Memento. This is before he got huge. It was his first real movie. He worked on like Insomnia too and something, but this is his first real movie, Memento. Fantastic, by the way. But it's crazy like Nolan movies always are. It's more of a real world one, so it's not science fiction or anything. This guy, I don't want to spoil anything, but ends up he's in an accident and he loses his memory every so like I can't remember how many minutes it is or whatever.
Oh yeah.
So
That's a cool movie.
He loses his memory, but he's trying to figure out
there, like, write
his
him something
wife's murder.
Yeah.
So he ends up having to tattoo himself. Like
Yeah.
the investigation, everything important is tattooed all over his body.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy movie.
That movie looks really cool.
That
I need to
sounds
watch it
bizarre.
all. I've seen a
Yeah.
lot about it though. It looks really sweet.
That's a good one.
So this conversation though has made me want to make a super crappy movie, but like so crappy to the point where you can see the other cameraman like hiding in the background from a shot. Like if you look close enough, like just little things like that where you can see people hiding like with cameras and stuff. Like just super bad.
Yeah.
Just make it as a complete joke. I don't know. I kind of want to do that now.
We know a celebrity, okay? Herbert Winter. Is a
Herbert
celebrity.
Winter.
This is true.
He's
Look
an
him up.
actor.
He's a real hipster. He's a real cool guy.
And he's an actor, huh?
He's an actor.
Is he?
Actor.
Mm-hmm.
Big city guy.
No, but moving on.
Big
That's-
city
what do you
guy
got?
from
What do you got,
Estherville.
Weston?
Honestly, I was struggling to come up with any of the indie movies that I've seen, but I have seen Memento.
Mhm.
That was a great one. I just didn't even think about it as being an actual indie because I thought it was just so well done.
Yeah, it was back in the day.
Otherwise, don't know that I can think of it off the top of my head. I've been trying to think, but
Yours?
Yeah.
Your face is red?
Yeah, it's really red. I just looked in the mirror.
You getting hot or what?
No, I think I just have probably a fever. I don't know. We'll see.
Let's say
If I die, I die.
He can turn that fan on and.
No, I'm not hot.
Cool
It's
it
literally
off.
just my face.
Okay.
But yeah, no. You're talking about like webtoons though, Weston? I suppose you can talk about some of the big ones because they were, before they got big, they were tiny anyway.
well, that's you said about just about everything.
Yeah, I know.
So everything started out small and then became big.
Yeah.
Well, to an extent, like, well, Nolan's first movie, Memento, was tiny, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But then after that, subsequently, like, after Batman Begins, everything was huge.
Mhm.
You know, but it's all you
Yes.
got.
Because I don't know. Gosh.
I mean, otherwise, just do what I did and just list off things that you remember watching from like back in middle school that are just stupid.
I didn't usually watch that much back in like
Nothing
middle
on
school.
YouTube back in the day.
No, I spent most of my time
What-
doing homework.
Would Tower of God can be
Nerd.
considered? Because it was a
I
webtoon.
mean,
Back in the day,
back in the day, yeah.
before it blew up and was, a sensation, Tower
Yeah.
of God was
Well, I guess-
fantastic.
There's one
Was
for
it
you.
the anime independently done or?
No,
the
it's-
anime is webtoon Crunchyroll.
Yep.
Like it.
Oh,
a
that's
big
right.
deal.
That's
duo,
right.
yeah, it's
That's right.
huge.
That's
It's
right.
huge.
That only happened after it was
Huge.
established.
Shut up,
in
Jordan.
That's
Mega
right.
Manhwa, you know.
That's right. I remember.
But no, I love Tower Gun. I also love Solo Leveling, which you got me on. But I feel like by the time I got to them, they were already pretty big. So, I also remember reading some of the one that Stan Lee worked on, but I can't call that indie either, even though it was
Yeah.
a small little toy project he was doing.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, because I was having issues thinking of some as well. Obviously, I mean, you heard me try to go on about it, but
Yeah, in my youth, I spent most of my time doing like homework because my parents didn't let me just sit down and watch things, and we didn't have TV to watch. So, most of my time was spent playing video games and stuff like that.
oh heck yeah!
Mhm.
See, that's
So-
what's up.
What about obscure anime or obscure video games?
Like, oh yeah, any indie games. That's a whole nother rabbit trail we could go down.
Yeah.
Those are so common though.
They
Well,
are.
all right. So, do you remember back in the day, there was one on the Xbox 360 called "I Made a Game with Zombies in It."
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Did any of you guys play that?
I think so.
Oh my god, dude! The theme song for that was the most beautiful song ever. I'll have to play it once we're done here, so you guys can hear it. But it's just
Undertale.
stupid.
Earthbound.
Undertale. Earthbound's not really. I guess no, it is.
Yeah.
It is.
Shigesato Itoi brought it to Nintendo.
Yeah.
It was like,
But
yo, I want to make a
Undertale
game.
is completely fan made, right?
Yeah, it's actually made
Mhm.
because Toby
That's
Fox was a
the-
huge.
the essence of indie, right?
Yeah, because Toby Fox was a huge Earthbound fan, and so he's like wanted to get into game stuff. So he made like a fan hack of Earthbound, like a Halloween version of it, and then from that he went on to create Undertale, which has a lot of the same kind of comedic tropes as Earthbound. So yeah, I was talking to actually one of the students who I work with in 4th grade about that. He's like, I love Undertale. I was like, you should play Earthbound then. He's like, why? He's like, because that's where it came from, really, if you think about it. Because Toby Fox loved Earthbound so much that he made Undertale. He's like, oh, I might have to check it out. So hopefully he does, because more people need to play that game.
Logan's just getting people like tuned into more video games. That's why he got the job at the school, so he could tell people to play these games.
Literally, I love Earthbound is one of the most underrated things. So, it's facts.
Got anything, Weston?
Megalovania is the Halloween hack, Terraria says.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know what that really is. I'm reading chat here. So.
Yeah, that's the hack I was talking about how he did for Earthbound.
I thought that was Undertale. You said.
No,
No,
Megalovania is a song in
That's what
Undertale.
happened before Undertale.
Oh, okay, got you.
Megalovania is a song in Undertale. It's I think it's Sand's song.
Okay.
Sand's main theme.
Got you. So, anything else then?
Any obscure video game or anime you watched, Weston?
My mind's just blanking. It's been a long day.
Gotcha.
Okay, so
My brain's just fried at
It's all
this
good.
point.
I understand that completely. 100%.
All good.
So, we gonna move on then?